time to look at the Star Wars prequel that no one ever asked for. Hello everyone, and today I'm taking a look at Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, just for a little bit of background, Solo was a financial flop. Like, I'm not even joking. This movie was a major flop, and I guess I can kind of see why, seeing how at the same time during the theater, this movie came out around a little bit after the events of Avengers Infinity War. And let's face it, which movie would you rather rewatch? Infinity War or this? Anyway, let's just talk about the plot of the movie. The plot is basically telling us how Solo did things, like basically telling us how Solo met Chewie, how he got the Millennium Falcon, how he met Han, how he did the Kessel Run. Yeah, it's just kind of bleh. Also, this movie has a lot of problems, but I'll get into my good things before I get into my negatives. First off, the guy who plays Solo is decent in my opinion. There are a lot of moments where I think he's good. I do like how he's not doing a Harrison Ford impression, because let's face it, if you were Han Solo in a movie that you're playing a younger Han Solo, you'd probably be like doing a Harrison Ford impression, but the person who plays Solo doesn't do that. I think he was pretty cool. I like this stuff with Chewie. I like how this movie actually gives Chewie an arc, like how Chewie is trying to get home to his family. As long as there's no holiday with it, then I'm fine with Chewie getting back home with his family. But still, and also, I kind of like the way Han and Chewie meet, like in this pit. And also, this movie made me realize how awesome Chewie would be as a wrestler. Like, imagine what would happen if Chewie was on WWE. It would probably be it would be awesome in my opinion, because of this movie. And of course, Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. Even though he does an impression of the actor who played Lando in Empire and Return of the Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, he is pretty charming in this movie, and I like how he has like all these different capes and stuff, and they even make fun of it. And the action scenes are pretty cool, and I like Woody Harrelson. And at the very least, while he wasn't a great villain, the guy who played the evil guy in this movie, who is also Vision from the MCU, was pretty cool. And also, he can say that he was also in the MCU and Star Wars, so that's a plus. And he was kind of fun to watch, and yeah, this movie is just kind of boring, all things considered. Like, I'm not even joking. But before we go into our negatives, we have to take a look at the biggest negative of all. And this negative is so big, it proves that Disney is not a Star Wars fan. Seriously, let's play the clip. Seriously, this song should have been in the credits of this movie. Let's play the clip, shall we, R2? Disgraceful, Disney. If you let that song be in the movie and the credits, then I would say this was a 10 out of 10 masterpiece and the greatest Star Wars movie of all time. But no, shame on you, Disney. Shame on you. Shame on you. But yeah, other than those positives, this movie is kind of forgettable in my opinion. Also, this is something I do kind of find really funny in my opinion. How at the start of the movie, they play this this commercial for the Empire, and the Imperial March plays for it. Even in the commercials, the Imperial March plays for it in the universe of Star Wars. Now I'm just imagining if in Return of the Jedi, when Palpatine went on the new Death Star, there was a marching band in the background playing the Imperial theme. Like, seriously, it would have been hilarious in my opinion. Or have him, Palpatine walking down, be in the commercial. That would have been more hilarious in my opinion, but still. But this movie is still kind of forgettable, and really kind of a waste of time, all things considered. Like, for example, who cares about Qi'ra? She is not interesting at all, and what's even the point of her, since we all know Han gets with Leia in the original trilogy and The Force Awakens, so them saying that, oh, they'll get together is kind of pointless, all things considered. Really. And also the Darth Maul cameo. Now, I'll fully admit, when I first saw the Darth Maul cameo, I was blown away by it. But after rewatching this movie, yeah, this Darth Maul cameo is really pointless in my opinion. And also, they could have replaced Darth Maul with Cad Bane from the animated show, like the Clone Wars cartoon. Seriously, if they had Cad Bane be in the movie instead of Darth Vader, that would have been awesome in my opinion. But nope, we have Darth Maul, even though we just saw your death, Maul. This is like the third time you've been resurrected, Maul, and it will be the fourth time when this new season of Clone Wars comes out, but yeah. Seriously. And also, this movie is just boring a lot of the time. Most of the characters are not interesting. We don't care about most of them. Like, there's L37, named Leet, who is basically like this SJW droid, and I'm like, did we really need an SJW droid in these movies? Did we really, people? Short answer, no. And Kira, she's your bland and generic love interest that no one will remember. Like, no one. And, yeah. And also, the major problem with this movie is that it kind of makes Han look less awesome, since in the movie, they're basically making him like, oh, don't worry, Han is stealing, but he's stealing because it's for bad people. He's stealing from bad people. Why can't we just have Han be like a jerk in this movie? But no, we have to make him a nice guy, and some guy who's all like a chip on his shoulder. No, why do this? It makes Han look less awesome in the original movies. Seriously, I have no idea whose idea was that, and I'm pretty sure this was going to go happen in the reshoots of the film, but still. Yeah, there's not much to say with Solo, a Star Wars story, seeing how the movie is kind of a mess. The story is forgettable, the characters, other than some of them, are kind of bland, and the movie is just not really that fun except for some of the action scenes. In fact, there's like action scene in it does feel like a heist movie a lot of time. Like, there's one action scene at the start of the movie where there's like these train conductors where basically trying to rob from a train, and they're like a random action scene comes out of nowhere, and it's like the conveyor belt scene from Attack of the Clones. And yeah, overall, Solo was just a forgettable film, and as such, I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10. Sorry about that editor, guys, but still, one last thing I don't want to talk about for this movie is that there are two other scenes I do like in this movie, that being the scene where Han and Lando meet up. I really like that moment where they're playing this game called Sabacc. That was pretty funny. And also, I like how at first, Lando starts to refer to him as Hand Solo, which I'll fully admit is kind of a cute reference, seeing how a lot of people are all like, is his name Han Solo or Han Solo? Which, yeah, it's kind of funny. And one last thing I do like in this movie is the ending. I thought the ending was perfect, seeing how Han cheats in order to beat Lando, since Lando has this card stapler thing that gives him the right card to win. And I'll fully admit that was a pretty funny scene. And the scene at the end where both Chewie and Han are off to go wherever they want with the Millennium Falcon, that was a pretty nice scene. But it's still a mediocre movie, and it's probably the weakest live-action Star Wars movie that has been released for Disney. Like, seriously, say what you want about The Last Jedi, but at the very least with Last Jedi, it was trying stuff different and new and creative. Here, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, like I said earlier, this movie gets a 5 out of 10. See you all tomorrow as I take a look at Rogue One, a Star Wars story. See you all later, and bye.